Jen's corner.
Yeah.
Oh. Jen was the artist, was our amazing and only artist on Sun Supper, and she did awesome work for us. All these icons were her work, and I'm gonna let her take over.
Oh, you're done?
There's questions after you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's more time for questions after you're done.
I've got stuff on here.
I did not realize all the money come up.
Yeah, I learned a lot of really awesome lessons from working with Kwesi, with understanding, you know, how to co-work, how to work remotely, and try to be productive from your house, which is hard because you have so many distractions. You know, you have TV and pets and partners and things like that. But I was really lucky to work with someone like him because it was really good first freelancing experience because he was very understanding and Anansi was really cool, and I understood his company's ideas and mission statement, and all his advice on working with producers and getting feedback. It's really important advice. And yeah, I mean, I was really lucky. I can do this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I wonder if this is gonna work. It works. Amazing! I didn't have to do anything. Okay. Boo, Microsoft. Alright, so this was the logo that I did kind of to get the job. Kwesi had several inquiries, but rather than being like, hello, I'm really interested in your company, I was like, hey, look at this picture. Like, let's get coffee. And he was like, all right. So that's kind of what I made up, minus the character. This is what I made up. Yeah. And then this was just concept art that I did. I just blue lined a lot of stuff, and I know Mimia looks really mean, but she usually isn't. These were just really quick, very quickly rendered concept designs of what this plant thing should look like, because me and Kwesi's interactions were, I was like, what do you want it to look like? And he was like, I don't know. A plant. So I did these, and he said, well, I like this one for the head, and I like this one because it has a cool body, and these leaves are great. And then this was the final result. This was, I don't think, yeah, this isn't a high-res version, or I don't think it's the final version, but it was the final design. These were achievement designs that I did for the letterboard. Is that what it's called? Leaderboard?
Yeah.
I don't know. And yeah, each achievement is kind of its own piece of artwork. These were I think these are mid concept, so it's he wanted to see them in color. So I added color to concepts that I developed. That was the original flower power meter that changed. This is Mimia broken down into the pieces that I would use to animate the character. So, because the vine grew, there had to be a different section of vine to replicate, and there had to be an end cap. And her leaves and her bulb is all broken up. And keep in mind, I know that these aren't super detailed, but it's on a really it's on an icon.
Yeah.
And the field is smaller than the icon screen because you have controls and your weapons or whatever along the top and bottom, so it's smaller. I had to design icons, which I actually really enjoyed doing. yeah, designing icons using vector graphics is a lot of fun, especially using Illustrator. I don't know, they're fun to do. There's a world of reference for good icon design, but it's really hard to find because a lot of people just kind of want like Microsoft-looking icons, and you got to really like look for like, you know, people who know what they're doing with vector art and like what people want. And I referenced Plants vs. Zombies, and I ended up spending like $10 on games for reference art and like looking for screenshots and stuff for just silly things like icons. Then this was the final flower power meter that I made for this side of the screen, just like two different flowers representing different things with a splash screen of leaves and sky in the background. This was, did we end up using the lock screen in the, like this, in the game?
Yeah, those locked icons.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this was one of the lock screens, and all of these are different elements. So the arrows are different elements, the numbers are different game elements, the backgrounds to the numbers are different game elements. So when Kwesi's like, hey, can you make a circle with a number in it? You're like, okay, and you have to think about like 3 different parts, and you have to blue line out a million different things, even though it's just for a simple little icon. And then these are the game grids that I designed, and then the game grids in a mock screenshot, which I was asked to set up a bunch. So Kwesi would be like, hey, like what does this look like in game? And then we'd make up a mock screenshot of that. And then this is the finished level screenshot.
The UI elements are kind of moved around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was relatively like what our finished splash screen looked like. I think the colors were a little bit different. But something really interesting about the game is the accessibility aspect. And from a design point, it bothered me because the letters had jaggies, and I hate jaggies. But in order for the iPhone to read the font, it has to be like completely separate.
Yeah.
So the font, the reason why some of the things in the game might be a little jaggy is because, first of all, our target audience is non-sighted people, and you know, it's the computer's going to read the stuff that's going on the screen, like, oh, this is to the left, and this is the letter I, and you know. So that was really interesting to me, to like turn accessibility on my phone for the first time ever. Like, I didn't even know my phone could talk to me and tell me what I was touching or doing, and the way it describes what you're doing is really cool.
And also kind of one other reason that Jen couldn't just bake the text into icons is now we're working on translating into different languages, in the French, Italian, German, Spanish. And one thing you're going to find is it becomes a lot easier to change the text out and then re-render it than it is to have to do an entirely new set of UI because of that. So when you get into a professional space, you're going to find that they're going to get really antsy about you baking text into anything because of that.
Yeah.